Hey Wildcats, I thought you might like to see the front of the school. It's Monday afternoon and I'm going to start giving you a little tour of some of the plants that you saw on the list that are in our arboretum here at school. Some of them will end up being highlighted for a pruning class that we'll be doing a little bit later. So we're out in the front of the school. You're all familiar with the front of the school and hopefully you've noticed that we have plants out here. But I want to look more specifically at some of the stuff that's out here. Most of the plants that are out here are things that we have planted as part of the horticulture program and in the development of our arboretum. This is our Japanese maple. It's our Acer palmatum. It's right out in front of the sign. We do try to pick out plants that have maroon foliage as often as we can. That's kind of fun. I know that I was looking at all the different choices, someone else picked one that had maroon foliage. Every plant that we've planted here in our arboretum has one of these plant tags in there, which you may or may not have noticed before. It's this little metal plant tag that we write on. It has the plant. It's very common in an arboretum to see those. You're usually pressed with a letter press, but we can do them by hand with a really sharp pencil. The tag will have the Latin name, the common name, and the date it was planted. So I don't have my glasses on, but let me see if I can get into this. This was planted in 2009, so that's quite a while ago. This is something that's taken a really hard hit. It wasn't this winter that it got hit as bad as last winter, and I kind of let it rest to see what it would do, but we're going to have our work cut out for us when we prune this and decide whether or not we're going to keep it. All right, so out here, a bunch of other things that we've planted. Over here is our weeping Norway spruce. This is that beautiful weeping growth habit. It's a very valuable tree. It looks really super over this rock. This is a really nice specimen or interest tree. People think it's sad, but I don't. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. Looks very, very healthy. Kind of has this skirt that you can move around. This guy, with all those beautiful, beautiful little new buds. This is a conifer, so it spreads its seeds by cones and not by its flowers. Over here are actually two shrubs that we planted last spring that did not get, or 2 springs ago, that did not get on our inventory list that we need to add to it. These are both cypress. And so you can see they have this super interesting yellow foliage. They're not sick. That's just what their foliage does. This is another cypress. These were planted to go with this garden bench in honor of a student who passed away a couple years ago. So these 2 cypress need to be added to our list. All of these hostas out here, while technically not a part of our arboretum, are also things that we've planted over time. If you can believe it, all of these hosta that are all along this front border of the school all came from a few hostas that I had when I built my house in Walpole about 25 years ago. One hosta can easily turn into many, many hosta, and we'll do a video on dividing hosta plants. We used to have a weeping Alaskan cedar that took up this space right over here. It was another weeping specimen. It used to be right here, and I'm not sure, it got some kind of disease and it died, but it would be a great plant to replace. Over in this other side of the courtyard, we've planted all these guys out here. And I'm actually thinking that a couple of them are not on our list. So more hosta along the side of the building. Need someone to come out and help me clean up. Got to rake out all of that. So here we have some broadleaf evergreens. This is rhododendron. And again, not all evergreens have needle leaves. So this broadleaf evergreens. This one's getting ready to flower. Inside, these big huge shrubs here are called Taxus tauntonii, or a classic yew. These things want to be trees, not shrubs really. They get so big. See, they have multiple stems like a shrub, if you look in there. But these things just get massive. And they're very difficult to prune back because they just want to get so big. Here we have another broadleaf evergreen. This is a boxwood. This boxwood has been shaped as a topiary, so we have a square, a heart, a circle, and a pyramid. Now this pyramid took a little hit, but when we do our pruning class, I'll get the right tools out and show you how you would prune those topiaries. These two arborvitaes, these big tall guys here, these nice big towers, we planted those probably 14 years ago. They're a great tall specimen tree. This is Pyrrhus in the back, another broadleaf evergreen with some white flowers. And so that's about it for the front of the school. This courtyard was all rocks when I first started here. And even though the grass takes a lot of wear and tear, so it doesn't always look perfect, we did this all by hand. We removed all the rocks with wheelbarrows, if you can imagine. Okay guys, that's your tour of the Arboretum around the front of the school. Talk to you later.